like whatever. So yeah, but Dead Orchard. We're tell us about how you came up with that.
Well, man, to tell you the truth, it was a complete accident. And I was actually trying to do something that we call the pump. But I just had such long legs that I had to like do something extra with them. And I ended up just triangling them. And someone did it like in one of the early UFCs once. And then it kind of like disappeared off the earth for a minute. And then me and a couple other guys, we just started all actually kind of doing that at the same time. But it just so happened that like I hit the most, like I basically I just like made the most noise about it as far as like who I was tapping with it and how consistently I was. And so one day, we actually got on the back in the day, 10thplanetjj.com, the 10th Planet forum was like, that's where all the guys were, we were all on the forum. And so I get on there one day and I'm like, hey guys, we should think of a name for this move that we're all doing. And so everyone starts, oh, you should call it the Angry Orchard. We should call it this or that. I had some other ridiculous name for it, but Eddie Bravo gets on and goes, he just like says Dead Orchard. And that was it. It just stopped. Like,
that's awesome. I think someone that is way cooler and way more creative than us should animate that. I think it would be a perfect animation of like Eddie Bravo in the corner, just like like he's like sitting in the lotus style, like a monk, and then just like Dead Orchard, like come out of his mouth and just kind of go, oh.
That's basically what happened. You know what I mean? And then I went on, and I got Barrett Yoshida with it at EBI.
Yeah.
And I think in the last combat jiu-jitsu. So, I hit it twice. I think I got 2 or 3 last year. I mean, it's crazy, man. I get tagged in a Dead Orchard video every single weekend from someone all over the world. Like it's probably the most common submission from rubber guard.
For those of you that aren't aware, Nathan, you want to give us a little breakdown of what the Dead Orchard entails?
But I might sound like I'm speaking gibberish because I have to use the 10th Planet terminology.
That's fine.
Basically, if you go rubber guard, which you're just, pulling your leg over their shoulder, sort of a thing. And then what I do is, it sounds so funny to say, but one of the way I started getting into it was, okay, you have mission control, which is where you kick your one leg up. But then if you kick your second leg up in front of that one, so you have both legs in that rubber guard, position, that's called crackhead control. Because I guess it's strong enough to control a crackhead. I don't know. And then what happens is you start pumping their elbows. So most people, when they're, like in your guard, their elbows are kind of flared. Mm-hmm. But you pump their elbows in so they go inside of their hip line. And then it's basically a double arm triangle.
Right.
So like a triangle choke, you only have one arm trapped. A Dead Orchard, you have 2 arms trapped. But then you turn it into an arm bar.
Right.
That's
because both of the arms are, you're so isolated because it's so tight, and both of the arms are trapped in. It's very, you can't move anywhere the other arms, really and you feel like you're cool because you're like, oh, I'm not getting triangled because both my arms are in. I must be okay. And then you try to posture up, and all of a sudden you're getting arm barred.
Yeah,
it's really cool, man. It's a very innovative.
There's
move.
levels, like sometimes you make people fall into it themselves. Other times you have to kind of force your way into it.
Yeah.
But it's still evolving, man. Like there's still like little nuances that are changing, and I mean, just like jiu-jitsu in general, but it's just cool I can't remember what it was from, some movie or something that I've recently seen where they said you have 2 deaths. Your first death is when you die, and your second death is the last time someone speaks your name.
Oh, wow.
And so I was just like, damn, like I'll live a little bit longer just from the Dead Orchard.
Cool,
like I might have a little bit of a legacy, which egoically, man, feels cool.
I love that, man. It's such a killer thing to say, man. Like it's such a fucking warrior thing to say, man. Like when I die, they'll remember my name.